Here we go again with this shit.
Welcome to Life Talk with E.O.P. because clearly they cannot get it together.
At all.
I am Patrick.
I'm Mason.
And I'm Otis, and we're here today to break down these interesting topics and to spill some tea.
But for me, it's been a very interesting situation because I haven't been able to find someone that's honest. Mm-hmm. It's like no one is like truly honest about anything. It's like you'll tell them exactly what you've gone through, the things that you've been hurt of, and they'll still do the same thing that you asked them not to do. And so it's just kind of like, you lied to me in the beginning because I told you this, you said you weren't going to do it. Right. So now you're putting me through all of these different cycles. So I've been through that, and I'm not going to say they're not good people. I'm not going to say anything bad about the individual. Right. So don't get me wrong. But our fit wasn't a good fit because I was at one level in my life, and I had to realize that sometimes we make bad decisions due to the seasons that we're in.
Right.
And a lot of times those situations that we run into are only supposed to be seasonal.
Right.
But we try to make them into something. But at the same time, it still would be good to find someone that even if that did happen, that it would be a good situation all in all.
So speaking of the word find, that actually stood out to me. How are you finding these guys? Are you finding them on an app? Are you finding them at the club, grocery store? How are you finding them?
Well, I mean, there's several ways of finding them, so I won't reveal all my sources. But if you do find me on one of the sources, then you know that I'm on there.
That part.
But with that being said, we find these individuals in basically every place that the gay lifestyle has, any resource that we have. So some people will act as if they aren't on there, but they are. And no shame in the game on whatever we have going on, but the thing is, just be honest.
Be honest.
And quit having this like supercilious like attitude and mentality like you have this checklist of stuff. Boo, you are on an app.
And you know what?
We're all on the app. So
good thing you said something about a checklist, because a lot of people do have these preferences, and it's okay to have a preference. But when you are up here expecting somebody to be skinny or have a six pack, or to be this person that you're not, that is not okay.
Yes,
but like
we talking about this, no films. Okay.
But I will say this: do you have a prerequisite for a person? Do you have certain things that they have to have in order for you to be okay with them?
Well, I do have preferences, but I'm not saying that I would shut a whole plethora of men out because they're not what I want them to be.
Gotcha. So I guess the question I would have.
So basically for me, like when I look for a guy, I want you to be employed. Yes. I want you to be employed. I want you to have your own place. I want you to be self-sufficient. Right. Like, I don't care what it is that you do. Right. As long as you're bringing something to the table, put something with something, we can make something.
Right.
So let me play devil's advocate. So what is the difference between your requirements versus their requirements? What's the difference between their requirements?
Well, see, what my requirement is, I feel like I'm giving them a chance. Right. Versus with them, they're not giving you a chance because you don't fit the description of whatever it is that they want you to be. Because people are saying masculinity. What is masculine? Right. If you're not masculine enough, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to give you the time of day. If you're not skinny, you're not attracted to me. Yeah. So, it's hard for people in the gay lifestyle to deal with that because you already have self-image issues of yourself and how you perceive yourself. And then to hear that from somebody that you potentially think you like, that can really crush somebody.
Oh, it can definitely crush someone. Because a lot of people don't even realize that a lot of people go through certain body formations or transformations in order to get to where they are. And they're happy with where they are. Yeah. Like, I'm happy where I used to be a larger individual. So I understand the struggle that a lot of people have. Right. A lot of people never saw me as big, but I still saw myself as the size that I was. So I knew I wasn't comfortable and I did it for myself. Right. But even now, in this state, it feels like people are more attracted to me, but they still don't take me serious.
Mm.
And I don't understand why, because I'm as serious as you can get. I'm a playful individual. I love to have fun. We can go out, kick it spontaneously, do whatever you want to do. We build our own blueprint. But the thing is, it's like no one wants to like take the initiative.
Right.
Do you think it has something to do with intimidation? Like, do you feel like they see, let's just say Joe Blow comes and meets you at the club and say, hey, what's your name, and they start to get to know you. And then as they're getting to know you, they kind of feel a little bit, like he think he better than everybody else.
I would agree to the point of people aren't aware of who I really am.
Got it.
They haven't even tried to get to know me.
Right.
So they see this persona. Yeah, I may come out and sometimes I smoke weed. And I may be high and I'm in my own soul.
Come on,
so when it comes to me going out and having a good time, I may come out and having a clutch and I feel myself that night.
Right.
I'm not coming through there flaunting and doing everything that everybody else is doing.
Right.
I'm just mellow and I'm to myself. So a lot of people take that as I'm a bitch.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not. I'm farthest from a bitch that you will ever meet.
All the time.
Now, don't fool me in the wrong way.
Because
then you see the other
that will
side.
come out.
That will come out. But other than that, as a person, I think I'm a good person. I think I'm a good person.
You are a good person. You are. And I think for me, people are intimidated by me. I'm just going to say it. I've been told that I'm a bitch. Okay? And I wear it with pride. But at the same time, I just feel like if you don't get to know me as a person, as an individual, how can you just judge me by a picture that you saw? How can you just read somebody's picture?
It's really intimidation.
You read somebody's picture and say, by your picture told me that you was a bitch.
Can I say? Yeah. Someone I was on the app, and my beard used to be longer and it was black. So I decided to kind of get to a place to where I wanted to be more comfortable with myself, but I just said forget all the dye and all the stuff that I was doing and just kind of just be me.
Right.
And so I cut my beard down. You remember I cut it off.
Yeah.
So the gentleman, we had been talking on this particular app, and we had conversations for months. But we finally ended up meeting up when I cut my beard off.
Mm.
The reason why, when he got here, and now when we met, I still had this beard, and it's in this state. But he said, I didn't talk to you because I thought you were fat.
Excuse me?
And I said, huh? He said, your beard. I literally got judged by my beard being too big. I'm like, I could have swore I had some more pics on there to show my whole torso and everything. So I didn't think, but to each his own. But
so here's my thing with that though, because me being on the thicker side of the the spectrum, you run into situations where you are compared to a certain look.
Right.
And you having that specific certain look, I think honestly it's not necessarily that they don't want to talk to you. I feel like they feel like their friends is going to judge them. And that's what really pisses me off is because it's like we're in a relationship with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If we're in a relationship with each other, fuck them.
Right.
It's me and you.
Right.
It's not that. But I think that that's one of the biggest things, and not just in the gay realm, just in general. People are so concerned and so, I guess, fascinated with everyone's thought process or everyone's thought of them or that person.
Right.
And it's just like you could be missing out on a blessing.
You can.
Because of what you think that somebody else is thinking of you and that person. Right. And I think that's real fucked up. And I think that that's not only just for dating, but that's for, just the clicks. You can, like, let's just say, for instance, had I been a very shallow person, just said, Otis, I don't want to talk to this bitch. This bitch right here think he just everything and more and all this kind of shit like that, rolling my eyes, some heavy, which I do on a regular basis.
Yes.
But the only thing is just that had I been that shallow mind that I've seen so many people do in the community, I would probably miss out on a very good friendship.
Right.
Because I'm so focused on what everybody else has to say about it, and I don't think that that's really fair.
Right.
No.
So, I mean, have you guys experienced that? Like, not only just in dating, but in, trying to, not necessarily just trying to be friends with somebody.
Oh, yes.
I honestly
Absolutely.
think so. I know I have, due to the fact of, individuals that look a certain way, that have a certain thing that they want.
A little flirt.
They like to do things behind the dark, behind closed doors
Right.
with individuals. Like if they have body complexes, but they still like this individual, they want somebody that has the same body
Right.
as them in public.
Right.
But when it comes on the sheets, they don't care. They want what they want to have at that time. And so they'll do those things, if you understand me, with you, but no one else knows about it but you and them.
Yes.
And it's belittling to,
Yeah.
it's kind of,
really
it's degrading actually when you think about it.
Absolutely.
Because they're not accepting you or wanting you for who you are. They're just wanting what they can get from you at that time.
Right. I hate that. I really do. Because the ones that they'll sit up here and shun you in public, but they'll slide in your DMs
They will.
later on. Because I've had that done so many times. And then they come up with this excuse. Oh, you just look so intimidating. Oh my gosh, I thought you were gonna reject me. Bitch, please.
I get that all the time.
Stop fucking
I
playing.
get that all the time. I get people in my DM. Number one, they want to tell me how sexy and handsome I am.
Come on, handsome.
Thank you. I
sexy.
appreciate that.
Sexy.
But tell me something that I haven't heard before, okay?
Come on, cocky.
I don't need nobody to validate me.
Validate yourself, baby.
Because I validate
You
myself.
have to.
You have to.
Yes.
But you get in my DM telling me that I'm sexy and handsome, that's not doing nothing for me.
So it don't make you feel good.
No.
So if someone gives you a compliment, it don't make you feel good.
No, because I know what their intention behind that compliment is.
Well, I
Let's
can't
talk
say
about
the
this.
same. Only due to the fact of I love a good compliment.
Facts.
Because I know that I'm still keeping my shit together.
There you
That's
go.
true. I mean, I agree with y'all to that extent, but what I'm saying is, yes, I do like a compliment, but for people that just, I don't know, that just come in my DM and tell me I'm handsome. No, I don't, because it's not coming from a place that I think it should come from. It's coming from you telling me, if you tell me I look good, or I'm handsome, or I got some nice lips, and what do these lips do? You already starting off wrong, because
What they
basically
do
you
now?
try to tell me
They talk. Come what do they do?
they talk. They talk.
But I mean, could you not be missing out on some things? Because, some people can come in a way that is not
Sexual.
and actually think that you're handsome. And actually think that you're handsome and just like, hey, handsome.
Well, I mean, and if I normally get those types where I know.
Yeah.
If they're telling me, you look nice or whatever, and then they form a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not, what's up? You handsome.
That is so annoying.
Where you
One
live?
word. Sup.
What you do?
Hi.
How much money you make?
I wish to have somebody
It's
who
just
did
so cute, and I
I
ain't
think but the thing is, they're trying to figure out how they're gonna get your cash up.
right.
Say it.
I'm sick of it.
Who you live with?
Let me tell you this. I'm sick of it. If I meet you and we're good and we're cool, whatever we did on location may be, if we've gone out to eat, I don't care. And you now, we haven't had discussion in I don't know how long, weeks. Don't hit me up with a random Cash App request.
Decline.
Hear me when I say this. Do not hit me up with a. It's the most. That's demeaning as shit. Because you haven't even tried to check on me to see am I okay.
Exactly.
You haven't said hi. You're going to send a request through Cash App. Decline. Sometimes I just let it wait there a few days. I don't look at it.
Oh no, I hit that instant decline.
Maybe I will send a message. Good, well, here's my try.
I want you to know, is there. Sing. I am not doing
I'll leave it on red, okay?
But
I
y'all
don't even
hear
have
that
Cash App.
dramatic pause though? Sing. That was dramatic. I like that.
I love it.
The drama. He gave me the drama right there. I did a doom.
Tyler Perry.
Okay.
Just a little doom
I
right
love
there.
the movies, baby, but some of your actors are awful.
You can call us anytime.
They are terrible.
We are always ready. We are always ready.
But no, I mean, in all seriousness, though, I mean, I completely understand and I relate to what you're saying because it's really uncomfortable where you have somebody that you may have actually had a liking with.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it's just that uncomfortable silence.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Like, they end up talking to you, y'all had a good time, and then the next thing you know, you text and it's just kind of like crickets.
Yeah,
Child.
And then they'll hit you up when they want to hit you up. And then you're like, okay, and then y'all respond to a couple of text messages, and it's crickets again. And it's just kind of like, I've had that, and then I ran out when they was with the boyfriend. I'm like, oh, okay, now I know. You didn't tell the truth.
Didn't tell the truth. Got caught up.
Starting off at the beginning, honestly. Just let me know so I can know what I'm dealing with.
Right.
Because you and your whatever may have whatever going on that I'm not aware of.
Right.
But I don't need to be bopped in the back of my head, and if I ever do, I'm coming for you. So I just want to let you know that.
Coming for you.
Windmill in that bitch.
See?
I mean, no, it's bad. These are country fits.
Okay. We ain't gonna come over here. Okay. Doing all that shit. Oh, real now.
I'm the epitome.
See, I actually was invited on this date. Well, not directly, but indirectly. And I think I told you about this one time.
An indirect date.
Basically, they texted me and said they were hungry. And they asked me if I wanted to eat.
Homeless motherfucker.
And I was like, sure. And they was telling me to find a place. So basically, you didn't really invite me directly, but you indirectly you invited me. So I found the place. We went to the place. I went to the place. Number one, you're late. You're 35 minutes late.
35 minutes late.
Yes, 35 minutes late.
Maybe he would have got
And then I'm sitting there, I'm eating, having my little drink or whatever, and there's some nice looking dudes at the bar, and he walks in with an attitude, number one, but you late, and I've been sitting here waiting on you. And then I start trying to get to know who you are. You sit down, 7 minutes of you sitting down, you didn't say nothing, it's complete silence. So when I start asking you about you, you get mad at me and tell me I need to let it happen organically.
Check, please, because I would have got my ass up and I would have left real quick.
I had an experience like this. Met a guy. We decided to go out to dinner a couple of days later. So we ended up going out to dinner. I invited him. I was like, let's go out to dinner. And I'm letting you know, I'm paying for it because I decided I wanted to actually go. Mm-hmm. So it's this particular restaurant back home that I like to go to, Cafe Olay in Memphis. Shout out, Brother Bacon Restaurant. And we got there, and they didn't have bacon wraps shrimp. And they didn't tell us until after my second drink, after I ordered them. Mm. So, no, if you know me, my palate is different. So if I want something to eat, I'm going to go get what I want to eat. Mm-hmm. I'm not about to settle just because you came out and told me an hour later, basically, you didn't have these bacon wrapped shrimp. Right. Okay, so I'm like, okay, we'll just drink the drinks and we'll just go to another restaurant down the street, literally like 2 minutes down the street. You're about to get on my nerves. Who said, huh? I'm what?
Now, was this the first day?
Baby, there was the second.
Second, third, it don't matter, bitch.
I said, I'm about to do what? He said, get on your nerves. I said, baby, I wouldn't care if I got on your nerves. I said, I'm paying for this. I said, so if you have an issue with me wanting to get something else to eat because they didn't have what I wanted at this restaurant, that's your problem, not mine.
Bitch, sit down and take the ride. Hell, fuck all that.
Well, you know what? I think I'm not even hungry. Oh, that's fine.
Oh, wow. Well, see, and with me, though.
Baby, I went into a whole conversation with my phone. You don't have to have it. You're not going to say anything. What is it to say?
Yeah, right. Bitch, you just said I was getting on your nerves.
You said I was getting on your nerves. I said, would you like an Uber or would you like me to drop you off? Because we can go ahead and separate the
He would have to catch pavement with these feet, son.
Yes, you were walking.
Yeah.
No.
No. But see, just like with me, though, he, after he said I didn't let it happen organically, I asked for the check. Check comes. And you know how, I'm pulling out I got my big Louis bag sitting over there, child. Oh, no, and I ain't trying to throw that up, but he gonna sit up there and he could have said, man.
That's not the thing. Whoa, bro.
I'm gonna lose you, bitch. I'm gonna lose you. And I like my little label stuff. I like that. But I work hard. I work hard, so I got that. But anyway, I ain't explaining, but I'm gonna let the people know, okay? Because I don't come off like one of them guys. But anyway, I had a big ass bag sitting right there. And so when the tab comes, he was just like, he grabbed it and he was like, gonna look at it and he gonna push it over there while he signing it so I could see how much it was. And so I was just like, he said, well, I assume that you don't have any money. So I'm gonna just go ahead and pay for your food.
Oh, fuck him.
And so I turned around and I looked to see how many people was in the restaurant. It was about 10 people left. And I told him, I said, honey, if I wanted to pay for everybody's food up in here right now, I could.
You had to make sure it was enough food that you could afford.
Baby, I had to make sure.
Baby.
I had to make sure it wasn't over 20. But let me tell you, the place where we
You
were
better know your monthly budget.
But the place where we were eating at, I knew that I could afford to pay for those 10 people.
You know your budget.
Yeah, that was in there. Yes. I know my budget.
The fact that this is a first date, though.
But this was all on the first date. But my whole thing is, you sitting up there looking at me like and telling me to my face, you didn't think I had money and I couldn't afford to pay for my food.
That's rude as hell.
And I'm like, I'm sitting up here with a Louis bag, but then you gonna ask me if I could buy you a Louis bag.
Bitch.
That's your first date?
That was on the first date.
Where'd you meet this person?
Child,
Hell's Kitchen.
Jacked.
What child?
I ain't gonna even lie. It was on Jack, and I'm gonna tell you that was the worst. That's the worst app out there. It's the worst app
I
out there.
think all of them bad.
Yeah, all of
Man,
them
but,
bad.
I don't really get on that many apps. And Jack, somebody had told me about Jack, and I was like, let me try this app. And I have not had any good experience.
I hadn't either. Before I got into my damn relationship, I had not had a successful thing off of Jack because Jack technically is what it sounds like. Jack.
You know, I don't think of it.
Oh my God, that's atrocious.
Yeah, I've had a different experience on that.
Well, Lord, do
and
tell.
it has been good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't say the same because some people go on there looking for a certain thing. And some people go on there looking for a certain thing.
And
all they want is
And
that.
so you normally attract what you ask for.
Mhm.
And so whatever I ask for, I normally get. And so I've had some good experiences. So I can't deny that. But I wouldn't say that they're bad. It's just how you use it.
Well, honey, I ain't asked for half of that
Well,
shit that I done got.
Hold on. Because I'm going to have to disagree with that.
Yes, honey.
With the attract piece.
Yes,
Because I'm a damn good nigga.
Yes,
I am. I'm a damn good
I
nigga.
am too.
And
I mean, we all are.
I think that I will say it like this. Now, let me say it. Maybe you meant this. Not necessarily we attract what, pretty much we're not a reflection of who we attract.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a mindset that needs to possibly be changed. Like maybe you get on there. I can't even say that really because I was gonna say, man, because it's kind of hard because on Jack's, for me, it was from what I saw, it was a lot of sexual innuendos. There was a lot of, hey, how you doing? This and that and the third. Oh, I'm trying to be real interested. And next thing you know, you change numbers, and then next thing you know, what's your address? I'm trying to come over.
Right.
What now?
Right.
We're not doing
Well,
Right.
the thing is, what people don't understand is that is not what is that blackmeat.com?
Black people meat.
Yeah,
it. Ain't Christian.
It's
man.
not Christian meat.
It ain't not foreigners.
Not at all.
It's not foreigners.
And it's literally those apps that we have, the ones that we are drawn to is the promiscuity. We go straight to the promiscuity. And we really don't have any apps unless we switch over. Does Tinder have like a slide?
Oh, yeah, that's that swipe.
It has a swipe for the gays.
Oh, I
Tinder.
hate it.
It does? Okay.
Yes.
So we can Tinder.
Is that where y'all
So
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so we contended.
Let me tell you, I'm not gonna knock all apps because sometimes I work with some people that have found their husbands and their wives off of some of these apps, and so it can be good for some people.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like Jack for me is not it. The gay apps for me it's just
And
not it because I've had so many people just we want to meet. I want to go out to dinner. It doesn't happen.
No.
If I don't let you come to my house, or if I'm not talking sexual, then they just flat out just stop talking to me.
And they normally have nowhere to stay.
Right.
Nowhere.
Or they don't have a
car. No car. They
probably got a flip phone with 15 minutes.
And let's please talk about this. How much time do we have left? I have because I'm tired of the drugs.
Ooh-wee.
And I don't mind people doing what they do because everybody has their own vice. But baby, when it comes to you doing these drugs, I need you all to have friends to help you all know about your limits. Because y'all come out here and y'all do so much stuff. And you act a certain way, and then y'all don't even realize that you look a fool.
Lord have mercy.
Then you can't be sexually active because you can't even you can't get it up. And I mean, not to say it in a negative way, but it is a negative situation.
The elevator stand in the lobby.
Then you try to invite somebody to your house and they go in your bathroom and stay in there for 30 minutes and you like, what the hell is going on in there?
Well, because y'all in there smoking that ice.
They may be in there, or depending on the sexual position, they may be in there prepared.
No, you should have prepared
before I got there.
I'm trying to find the damn silver.
That's not a silver line.
No, baby.
The thing is, we've caught on to the game because we are not shy of the truth.
Oh no.
And the thing is, we can tell when y'all on that shit.
Okay.
I mean, just stop the shit. Literally. Slow down on it. If you can't stop, get help, find a friend that can help you.
I'm sure there's an 800 number.
I am sick of it.
Yes. We will find resources for you.
Everybody has done that. They share drugs or whatever case they did. And if you do what you do, learn how to do it well.
And be discreet about it.
And I mean, I'm not condoning drug use. Don't get me wrong. But we do it. And so just do it right. Do it to where you don't change your character. Make sure it doesn't make you lose your jobs. Make sure it doesn't put you in a position to where you're fighting someone or you're out of your mind to where someone has to take care of you. Learn how to be responsible for yourself.
Do it
That's
in
what
moderation.
I'm saying.
Do it in moderation. Just be an adult on the shit. Because some of these motherfuckers, they go way cuckoo crazy with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had this one guy, he came over and he was just like, can I do some ice?
Oh, they call it ice, or did he call it Tina?
He said
they call them both.
He came and he pulled out this little bag. Y'all know the little old bags that, they have like little thing. And I'm sitting up looking at, what the hell is that? Then he sat up here and got this damn little tube with the little bulb at the end.
No.
And he started, I said, at your house?
Yes.
At my house. And then he felt bad because he was like, your apartment is so nice.
Oh, he would have felt bad.
And I told him, I said, okay, you can go.
Baby, now he would have pulled that long tube out, his ass would have been get kicked down the stairs. Because you would not pull no drugs out of my house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't like that.
I ended up going to a situation, and a friend invited me over, and we were having a good time, and they were smoking out of the pipe.
Lord.
And so they smoking weed out of the pipe, because that's what I smoke. I smoke weed. And so let's clarify that. And baby, the pipe was going around. And so, once you get high, and now you got these pipes going around, normally if you're in a circle of people smoking weed, they're going to light up more than one. Okay. And so you're going to have a rotation going on. So I'm sitting in rotation, and I got this pipe. And I must have hit it. And I thought I was dying. And they were like, no, you don't hit it. I'm like, what is this? And they were like, oh, I'm sorry, there's ice. I said, is this crack?
Did they
because I'm unaware.
So did they mix it with the marijuana?
They had a separate pipe
going
around.
But you just thought it was really
I just thought, I'm sitting here having a conversation with it because when you high, you have conversation. I'm not thinking anything of it. I just grabbed the motherfucker and I'm just sitting up here and I said, I mean, I literally went into a cardiac arrest. They were
How
like,
you doing, friend?
I'm like, what is this? They was like, you can't hit it like that. I said, what is
You start
this?
coughing.
Baby, I felt like I was melting.
Oh my God.
I didn't know what was going on. When I detoxed from that that next day,
Lord,
because I literally could not go to sleep.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I could not go
will
to
keep you
sleep.
up, baby.
I felt like I was losing every bit of my body. So that's why I'm telling you, I don't know how. That was a mistake that I made. And my body basically tried to turn itself inside out. So how do y'all do this on a regular basis and expect to be healthy? That's when we see half of y'all out here looking skinny as you do.
Child look like a skeleton. Tales from the crypt.
I mean, you're sitting up here looking like Lil Wayne and this little baby.
Soldier boy. I'm sorry, Soldier, but you look amazing.
You ain't got to apologize. That nigga know what the hell he doing.
Okay.
Because you got a skeleton.
Yeah,
It's not
it's disgusting. But you know what? I think that right there is kind of like a shit. I can't even really think about it. It's it's something that brings them together. You know, like it's like we sitting down at the table.
What is the Ice family?
Yes.
Who does? I guess crackheads have their family.
Well, they do. They all have their families.
Yeah.
And I just can't get with that.
Cokeheads, meth heads, crackheads.
But you can see them people, they must don't have. Well, I can't even sit up and say they ain't got no good job.
Well,
There's a lot
you
of
can't
them
say that because I know some functioning addicts.
Yeah, I do know
I know some functioning addicts.
I mean,
Now, but they own their shit. See, and if you looked at them, you wouldn't be able to tell that they was doing the drugs.
That is what I'm saying.
Because they maintain it so well.
Yeah.
But I'm just like with you, like in this gay community, drugs is everything right now. But if you even want to talk to somebody, if they find that you ain't doing Tina or Coke, they don't want to talk to you.
They
Absolutely.
really don't, because they want you to benefit them with what you got.
Exactly. You want me to pay for
Especially
it.
if you appear to be well off and they just enough. You know, they be like, oh, baby, can you cash out me? Can you Zelle me $20
No.
or whatever? And then they say, oh, I'm finna go look for a job or some shit like that. Bitch, you fucking lie. Now, that's the shit I can't stand. Tell me what you want. Be honest.
Yes.
Kind of like what y'all was saying earlier, as far as letting people know what you want from the gate. That's the question I want to ask y'all. So, we know how we say, be honest, keep it 100. Let me know what your intentions are in the beginning.
Right.
Do you honestly feel that you would be able to accept someone saying, I'm just looking to fuck?
Yeah. I absolutely would. If you tell me that you just want to fuck, okay, because in my mind, I'm like, we just do this damn
That's what it is.
That's what we gonna do.
So let me crank it. So let's just say you're looking for a relationship, and that's you have tunnel vision on a relationship, and someone says, I have to fuck you in order to get in a relationship, or to know that this is going to be a good relationship. Because some people feel that if you have bad sex, you can't be in a relationship because they don't want to waste their time with you.
Some people feel like that, but I think I've been a teacher all my life.
Come on, Professor.
Where I feel that sometimes I try to teach people in a way that they should have been taught themselves.
Teaching them how.
Basically, when it comes to life.
Okay.
So I'm getting past that now. But when it comes to sex, I have my own masters in that. And I believe that if we are having bad sex, if you have the tools and the equipment to be able to do what you need to do, we can get through this thing, because I think I'm a great coach.
All right now.
And so sex-wise, I don't think that would be, that would be an issue.
Come on. And I don't think it'll be an issue for me either. I haven't had any problems.
Y'all better promote. That's what I'm talking about. These bitches is promoting. Do you hear me?
We got masters.
Okay, we got masters, we got PhDs and all this kind of shit all up in there. You hear me?
Yes.
The bourgeois.
Yes. I don't have a problem with sex. But if you tell me what it's gonna be right out the gate, that's what it's gonna be. But if you tell me you're looking for a relationship and then I'm trying to really get to know you on that level, and then all of a sudden you just like immediately go to sex, I have a problem with that.
Yeah. So do you feel like, well, let me ask you this, because I know a lot of people say this as well, is that they can't necessarily be, if you're not sexually compatible, you couldn't be in a successful relationship. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's
my thing is, how do you know if you're sexually compatible if you haven't had sex with them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my thing is, if you're trying to actually get to know me, you should let it lead up to that. You know, like I'm not saying that we're not gonna have sex.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't want to have sex with you tonight.
Because the thing is, if you're trying to have sex with me tonight, this just lets me know that's what you're trying to have.
Right, and then you're gonna do that. You're gonna have sex with me, and then you're gonna go off
and have sex with somebody else.
Yeah.
And so it's just gonna be a sex thing. But if you tell me one thing, then I can go there.
Right.
But sometimes you can tell people one thing, the next thing you know, they got a whole nother thing.
They in a whole nother
relationship,
child.
Yeah, living double lives and all that kind of bullshit.
Because sometimes people tell you what you want to hear.
They do.
It was a song back in the day. This is when my ghetto days, and it was a song called Yes, Lord. I'm telling you, it used to be. It's a song. Tell me what you want to hear, just so I can fuck the hoe.
Oh,
that is the name of the song. Back in the hood, that was the song.
This from Oak Cliff, baby Oak Cliff, baby Oak Cliff.
Baby, I'm telling you, used to hear that damn shit, and I'm telling you, if you heard it, you knew exactly what the fuck was going on. Tell me what you want to hear, just so I can fuck the hoe.
Wow.
And that's the gospel.
And it's just not in the gay community. Straight men do it to women too, all of the time.
And we will be talking about that too, because it's really, it happens to everybody.
It does.
And it's unfair to people that are genuine and want something real and tangible.
Right.
Because we have so many people out there that are con artists.
Oh.
I mean, I think that's the clearest word that you can actually...
You did not say,
There's so many of them out there.
It is.
So many damn con artists out there. And it's very disappointing because it's like, I used to call them Camilla niggas. Because they asses would sit up there and camouflage.
Maybe they were chameleon ass.
They will sit there and fucking camouflage just to be with you. But really, that's not who they even really are. And I'm just like, again, be 100.
Be 100.
Let me, you pursuing me, let me sit up here and see who you really are.
Right.
Because you never know. On that given day, I might want to take you for a little test drive, a little something.
Right.
And then the other day, I may be like, fuck you and what you do. Take your little hoeing ass home somewhere.
Right.
I ain't got time for that. So, that's just how a lot of them are nowadays. It's just that they feel like they have to adapt to the surrounding and totally lose sight of who they really are.
They really do.
And they do it for so long that they don't even really know who they really are.
And it's sad. And it's also sad that guys don't really wine and dine you anymore. Like, it's just like, okay, we're not going to be at a restaurant. I want to come to your house.
And see, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Now, I would say this. I wouldn't have a problem
on the first date.
No, well,
somebody was cooking and wanted to make it intimate.
Yeah, I can say that. I can say that because the thing is that sometimes you don't have to spend money to go out there.
Right.
But okay, how do you feel if it's somebody that you haven't met before and you're inviting them to your house and this is your first time?
It's a blind date. It just depends on how you want to spend that blind date. Because normally on blind dates you go out to a restaurant or facility, wherever you may meet at the movies. So if you want to switch it up and do it at home to where you cook, it's basically kind of a one-up because it's showing them what you actually are capable of doing. And so if they like home-cooked meals or whatever case may be, it is good food.
Right.
It has to be good. Then they will possibly come back.
A little seasoning.
Baby, it got to be
but the reason why I ask is because sometimes you may meet somebody that put this whole camouflage thing on like you were talking about and acting like they really like you and they want to get to know you, but yet they done came and scoped out your place. And then when you leave, they come back and they rob the place.
But see, I learned my lesson. Anybody know you come to my house, I got cameras. Because I don't trust motherfuckers.
And I do too. And
I'm going to tell you something. If they come into my house for the first time, I'm hiding all my good shit.
Yes, Lord.
I'm hiding all my good shit because your ass can come in there and say, oh, well, he got this over here. He got Tiffany this, and he got that this, and that. Did you not feel the scope my goddamn house? I don't think so. And if so, I got the camera right there. Smile, bitch.
Baby,
right. I have a camera right at my door.
I got it at the door, and then when you walk in, boom, camera. I don't trust people like that. And then to even go a little bit further, it's a lot of not so mentally sane people out there in the world. So you invite somebody into your house, they may not necessarily be trying to, case the joint. They could possibly try to make your ass into chop suey.
Ooh, child.
You know,
Thank God I haven't ran into any of those.
I have a story about that one, but
You almost got chopped
but
up,
that'll be
girl.
for another time. Well, you know what? It's not funny. Yes.
No, it's not.
it's not funny. As he laughed.
Yes.
Baby,
I was almost chopped up into.
Baby, I'm glad you're still here.
He's
Thank
still
you,
in the
Lord.
land of the living.
God is good. I give it to him every
Yes,
day.
it is, baby,
Every day.
because you are
But I'm
not
gonna tell you
smart.
this. I'm gonna make this long story very short. I'm from a little town called Roy City, which is not so little anymore. But I had got on the chat line, you know, when the phone chat lines were something, when it was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I had met this guy
Mm-hmm.
Did you
on
put
the
your
chat
sexy
line.
voice on? Just put say, yo, what's up? What's going on?
Okay.
You know, you got to go with like three octaves more.
Okay.
Yeah, yo,
Well,
what's up?
they want to know what your name is. My name is Tremaine. My name is Tremaine.
I hope you wasn't doing that on the phone. Talking about some Tremaine.
You know, that's what we used to play music in the background. Had Josie playing in the background.
But then I turned into Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys. So, you know, yeah, you put your little sexy voice on. You know, you want to sound hard and masculine for them because that's what they looking for on the
You
chat
probably
line.
had the music in the background. You know.
I did. I had my little Jodeci playing.
Oh.
Okay. And then, you know, you put the little sexy voice on when you leave your message. You know. So, yeah.
Press 3 if you'd like to do the next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, and then I listened to your little sexy message and all that. So, anyway, I ended up going to West Dallas, not knowing anything about West Dallas. Ended up in I was in the slums, honey. When I tell you the slums, it was the slums. It was an apartment with no windows.
Ooh.
I didn't know that this apartment didn't have windows until I got on the inside. And honey,
Man, I would have had to go back out to my car.
okay,
Man, I left my phone in my car.
but see, the guy was so nice. But see, no, the guy was so nice though. This is how people fool you. The guy was so nice, very mannerable. And then after, you know, we did what we did. He comes out of the bathroom with a machete talking about, I owe him some money.
What?
And I was sitting there looking like,
Did
are
you
you
say a
serious?
machete?
A machete. A machete.
I am so
And he said he was going to chop me up and throw me into the Trinity River. And I didn't even know nothing about the Trinity River. I didn't know nothing about the Trinity, but now I know about the Trinity.
That's just
You could have been on Criminal Minds.
Man, I would have been on first 48.
That?
But I thank God that, you know, God was playing in my mind, telling me what to do and how I got away. And so I knew I didn't have any money. At the time, I didn't have any money. But I had this gift card in my car. And I knew it had a Visa logo on it. You know, and so I was like, oh, I got a card in the car. I can get you some money. That's how I'm going to get you some money. But I could tell that this guy had done this before because he sent me to an ATM right in the parking lot of a Fiesta, right next door to his apartments. And so as I'm trying to go to the car to get the card out the car, he comes out with a gun with a scope on it. A lady is outside smoking a cigarette, and I'm thinking like, lady, please call the police. Or what? That lady put her cigarette out and went back into her apartment. And so he tells me, if you try something stupid, I'll shoot you right in your head. And so at this time, because I was thinking about putting the key in the ignition and throwing the car and reversing it, but I knew I couldn't do it because the little red dot was on my head. So I done reached and got the card. I'm like, I got the card. And he took my phone because I tried to dial 911. And so he was like, give me them car keys. I said, I can't give you these keys. I said, because this is my mom's car. And at the time, it wasn't my mama's car. It was my car, but I lied. I said, this is my mama's car. And if you take this car, she has a tracker on it. They'll know you had it. So he didn't take my keys, but I got the car. He said, well, get over here. He grabbed me by my arm. You're going to go give me this motherfucking money. And I went over there to the ATM. He's standing behind this gate with the gun pointed at me. And I knew wasn't nothing on that card. Because it was a fucking gift card. My mama had just used the card, but nothing on it. And I'm over at the ATM just pressing, and I'm like, it won't work. And I'm looking back at him, it won't work. And so he put the gun down, and he comes over there to the ATM.
Baby, did you cut out right?
So, baby, let me tell you. So once he get over, he said, you playing with me? I said, no, I'm not. And I knew. So once I put the code in again and said, decline, insufficient funds, he grabbed my arm. He said, you ain't supposed to play with me. I smashed away from him, and I started running like Tina Turner did, and what the rest got to do with it. I ain't gonna be lie. It was like the God sent an angel down and was pushing me because I was running fast. I ain't never ran that fast before in my life. And then I get across the street.
Okay.
I get across the street. And I ain't gonna even lie. I get across the street to this Texaco, and the black man that was working in there told me to get the hell out of his store with that.
Oh.
And so it was a lady that seen me frantic, and she let me use her cell phone. And I called the cops. The cops finally came there, and the cops told me that I was very lucky because most gay people, or homosexuals as they put it, that come over in that area do not make it out alive. And so they told me that I was lucky, and they said, you have no business over here. And so after that, that's when I learned to leave that phone chat line alone.
Yeah, get off my line.
And I hate your experience with phone chat line.
Child, it was a terrible one.
Whew.
Yes.
Well,
A scary one. But honey, that's a lesson.
be careful.
Be careful.
That's basically going to be be careful when you're going out here because a lot of people don't have the right thought process when it comes to what they want to do. So just be careful when you're going out there.
And it's people that, what is the word I'm trying to, prey on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They prey on us.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
why
we don't invite them over and beat their ass up and
Yeah.
take all their shit. I mean, so you just got to be careful whenever you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. So,
well, yeah. So, well, I guess that's a perfect way to go ahead and just end the show. We did have some wonderful conversations. So, next week we'll definitely pick it back up. We'll have some hot topics for you.
child.
So, as usual, make sure that you do like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. And that's it, I guess. All right, y'all.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.